Hello, thank you. Thank you for being here. My name is Jesse Lawrence. I'm your host. Welcome back to the Office Ball Z, the world's number one Office Ball Z podcast. You're probably listening to this on your iPod video that your Secret Santa got you, even though the limit was only $20. Or maybe your goddamn fucking fiance got you a cheap knockoff piece of shit Durosport or something like that. But either way, you're back. You've been waiting. You've seen it pop up in your RSS feeds. Here we are. We're back, and I know that all six of you out there are really waiting for me to come back, and maybe with this episode we can get a seventh fan, a seventh paper baller in the in the group. There, we can all make a wish for me to kill myself. Anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. This is a very special Christmas special episode today. And what makes it doubly special, actually, I should say, doubly special, is that I already recorded this fucking episode an hour ago. And I talked for over 40 minutes. And then I noticed it stopped after 13 minutes. So I'm doing this all again. This time it's even worse. And the thing is, I'm sitting over here. I have there's no lights on in the house, and my eyes are closed the whole time. I'm just fucking barreling through it to get a few laughs out of myself and move on with my night, Christmas Eve night. And Poppy's sleeping in the room over there at 6:54. And now I'm screaming again because I wanted it to go better. I wanted it to go better! Anyway, today we're talking about Classy Christmas and Merry Christmas again. Lots of Christmas episodes to choose from The Office. Well, first of all, I should say this. I got all fucking confused because my first of all had to be changed, before I wrote the first of all, and now it's like the third thing I'm saying. So, first of all, my holiday traditions have also been ruined this year. I like to watch on Netflix all of the Christmas episodes of The Office. And today, this year, January 1st, The Office comes off Netflix. We all know that. Everybody knows that. We've all heard that one before. Tell me something I don't know. My subscription ran up December 22nd. So, naturally, that night, I stayed up late as fuck writing this episode for you. It was great. It was such a blast. Don't mind the front I'm putting up. I really was in the Christmas spirit. And then this fucking episode now I have to deal with again. And, I wrote this together, but now I've got to pop in the DVDs into the DVD player, and I wish it would, and I've done that. Obviously, I can't go a night without the Office. What am I going to do? And, I put the DVD in. I wish it was HD, like the Blu-ray. And it's, it's just the DVD, the Blu-ray. Expensive. And anyone wants to send me a copy of the Blu-ray. And, but, I gotta give a shout out to Netflix. Because I'm not one of these real fans. I'm a fake fan of The Office. I got into the show after season 7 was already coming off of the air. It wasn't the first time I saw it, but when I really started watching the show was when I got my Netflix account almost 10 years ago now. I think next May would be 10 years I started watching The Office. So I've been a fan almost 10 years, and it's a big part of my life. As lame and fucking sad and pathetic as that is. I sit here, I watch The Office on Netflix. And of course, Netflix couldn't just bring it to 10 years. They had to bow out. And I'm not going to let some big corporation like Netflix control how I watch The Office. I'll go to Peacock. I have freedom at Peacock. Anyway, Classy Christmas, episode 7, season 7, episode 11. Edit that part. No, wait, I don't have a producer anymore. I fucking fired him after the whole thing where I didn't record the last episode. If you're fucking listening to this, you're done. Stop listening. You're done. Evan, enough. Edit that part. Season 7, episode 11 and episode 12. It's a two-parter. This came out December 9th, 2010. Written by none other than Mindy Kaling, as you know her, Kelly Kapoor. Goodbye, Kelly Kapoor. Right, and then directed by Rainn Wilson. You know, Dwight Schrute. So very nice pairing there of the actors on both the writing staff and the directing staff this time. In the beginning of this episode, Michael is feeling a lot like me, I would say, on Christmas right now. You know, he's not really in that great of a mood because everybody in the office is just doing well. Everybody's just fine. And he has this talking head where he reveals that, you know, he wishes there was some drama on Christmas, you know? And we see Kelly handing out her gifts. It's the Hello Kitty thing. I don't want to focus on any of this today, though. What I do want to focus on in this episode is the rivalry antics of Jim Halpert and Dwight Schrute. It starts off very early in this episode where we see Jim saying that it's snowing. He's looking out the window, and Dwight hits us with the classic, "Oh, it's the first snowfall of Christmas. Isn't that just so magical for you, little girl?" It's not even real snow. It's dusting. You know, so Jim goes outside and gathers up his key. Jim makes a snowball, and he comes back inside. He shows it to the camera, whips it right into Dwight's face. And everyone cracks up. "Fuck you, Dwight. You're a loser." Everybody laughs at you every day because Jim makes fun of you. And Dwight freaks out. He's demanding an apology. He's like, "There's a pebble in this. It could have killed me, you know?" And they shake hands and they agree that they'll have a snowball fight on the first real snowfall of the season. And Andy tries to get in on it. Dwight's like, "This is the snowball fight. This isn't fun. Go find your own thing." You know, and this whole time, like, Jim won't break the handshake. It's just going on. He just won't break the handshake. It's just going on. He just won't break the handshake. It's just going on. And this obviously reminds me of another legendary fight between legendary rivals. The first fight between Goku and Vegeta. That's right. Not even 10 minutes in, we're switching topics, y'all. Hold on to this one. We've got Dragon Ball chapters 227 to 241. Or if you're reading Dragon Ball Z, it's 33 to 47. So, opening arc, Saiyan arc. We've got, these chapters came out June 6th, 1989 to September 12th, 1989. So, pretty damn old. I mean, older than me, and I'm close to dying. So, Goku wants to go fight at a remote location, maybe like a parking lot, wink wink, or a mountainous, rocky desert region, which will be the place that Toriyama will draw for the next, like, 6 fucking years, as where everybody fights. I guess to maybe, like, so that people aren't dying all the time, innocent people, even though people are dying all the time, innocent people, and then they get wished back to life. But anyway, that's a whole different episode about when everybody dies in the office. It's a whole different episode. Here we get beautiful full color pages, though. You know, you don't see it too often in Dragon Ball, but Toriyama does a fucking awesome job with his color pages, especially full color. And we get these iconic shots of Goku and Vegeta standing on top of the rocks in their poses. It's like classic standoff shit. And you know, the fight pops off pretty fast. We got Goku goes in for the attack first, but Vegeta blocks and just flips away. We've got Goku pursuing Vegeta. Vegeta comes back with an elbow to the face. Goku flips and jumps high, and Vegeta's already behind him. And he swings, but Goku dodges. And then he kicks, but Vegeta dodges. And then he kicks, but Goku dodges. And then they fight up to the sky. And then Vegeta knocks him down to the ground, but Goku lands on his feet. And then he brings out the Kaioken. Right? The move that he learned from King Kai or Kai-Osama. And, I think this is the first time we actually see the move. It's kind of been built up throughout this whole arc. As far as when Goku started training with Kaio. And he goes into the Kaioken, which boosts all of your stats times 2. It's just, it multiplies everything that's going on. You buff up a little bit, but it pushes your body to its limits. And with this, he just blows up the mountain that Vegeta's on. And even at times 2 strength and speed, Vegeta can still hold his own against Goku. But that just excites Goku, Or should I call him Kakarot in this fight against Vegeta. So Vegeta powers up, and the whole sky turns black, and there's lightning striking and everything. And then he just screams out a ki, a karate yell. He just screams out a powerful yell. It destroys all the mountains around them, flattening the land like a parking lot. Are you guys paying attention? So Vegeta throws an energy ball, which looks almost exactly like a snowball. I had to take a double take real quick. And he throws it right at Goku, and there's a pebble in there. But Goku jumps up. But Vegeta's already throwing more ki blasts at his new location, and Goku's shirt becomes all ripped, and his face and his chest are bloodied and bruised, which is obviously exactly like when Jim is supposed to meet Dwight out in the parking lot, and there's no one there, just a giant snowman. We see Jim call Dwight, but he just gets his voicemail. He goes to go back inside, but the door is chained shut. Dwight emerges from the snowman and pummels Jim to the ground with dozens of snowballs, just like Vegeta was doing. This is shot-for-shot remake, guys. I couldn't fucking believe this shit. Then we get Dwight, Captain Morgan posing on top of Jim. He's got his hands in the air. He says, "I am the commander." The Olin Rogers video you guys saw. So then he says to the camera, he says, "I have no feelings in my fingers or penis, but I think it was worth it." And then we see Jim talking to the cameras inside, and he's, bloody, and his shirt is ripped. He looks exactly like Goku, and he gets a text message from Vegeta. "How about icing it, LOL?" And speaking of losing all feeling in your fingers and your fucking God. So Goku's pushed himself way too far, right? He's over there doing Kaioken times 3, which Kaio told him never to do. But since he does this, he absolutely embarrasses Vegeta. He's constantly swooping around him, knocking him around all over the place. Anyone who's played, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, as they say it, knows what the Kaioken move looks like. We all know what I'm fucking talking about. Shut the fuck up and move on, man. But this pisses Vegeta off. He goes up in the air, and the artwork here is great. I think that the Saiyan arc has some of the best artwork from Toriyama. Probably, I think my favorite would be Piccolo, the Demon King Piccolo through the Saiyan arc. I think it's probably the best artwork we get from him. And we just get a lot of really awesome shots of Vegeta freaking out, and he's charging up the Gallic gun, pretty much his version of the Kamehameha, as he points out himself. And what this is actually called in the Japanese is Gyadik Ho, which means garlic cannon. So classic, just the funniest fucking jokes you could possibly imagine about fruits and vegetables. And he's gonna blow the world into a million pieces, saute style. And Goku fires back with the triple Kaioken Kamehameha. And we get the famous beam struggle. I have written here in my notes, the famous bean struggle. That's an accidental pun. And that was improv. Okay? But Goku feels himself slipping. You know, we get a couple good pages of this beam struggle, good 3-4 pages. It's got to end. Goku kicks it into Kaioken times 4. Exactly 1 notch cooler than Kaioken times 3. And he blows Vegeta away with this, right? And then we see on the side, Yajirobe. He's been secretly watching from the sideline. He runs over to congratulate Goku, and he pats him on the back, and Goku screams out in pain because he's really pushed his body way too far. And it's worth mentioning, too, you know, when he was up at even just times 3, his body was insanely buff, like way buffer than Toriyama had drawn people before. You know, he pretty much could have been Master Roshi firing off that first Kamehameha. And, you know, Goku's screaming, and he can no longer feel his fingers or penis, it says here. That's funny. Who wrote that one? Goku knows that Vegeta's still alive, though. And then we see up in the sky, Vegeta breaks away from the Kamehameha wave like a surfer bro does. And he's up in the sky. He's freaking the fuck out. He's just pissed off at himself. And he's looking around for the moon, which he doesn't see. And he wants to turn into the Ozaru, the great ape, which we've talked about before on the show. And we've also talked about how Piccolo destroyed the moon. So, we are feeling pretty safe right now, but it's only a false sense of security because Vegeta can still transform. And, not to mention, there's someone else who has transformed and provided a false sense of security and hope in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Because Jim sees Pam working at her desk, but then he sees her come out of the kitchen into the bullpen. Then the Pam at the desk turns around, and it's revealed to be Dwight in his Super Saiyan 3 wig. And he's got a bowl full of snowballs, and he's just pelting Jim. He's pelting Jim with them. And speaking of pelts, let's talk about animal pelts real quick, because Vegeta explains that with the Brutes waves and the 17 million Zenos that have been hinted at this entire fucking series, that's obviously what activates the cells in the monkey tail that turns you into the great ape. And guess what? Obviously, Saiyans have a way of making a fake moon in case someone destroys the real moon. They can still become the Ozaru. Wow. So, you know, a good voice actor can always say any line 3 different times, get 3 different emotions out of it, the same words, but 3 different emotions, 3 different, you know, conveying ways of mannerising, saying things. And that's just what good voice actors do. So when he becomes the great ape Vegeta, he, you know, has the cool Vegeta hair, the cool Vegeta voice, the cool Vegeta armor. It's just Vegeta. He's just a great ape, you know? It's not like these stupid, you know, naked, numbskull baby apes like we've seen with Goku and Gohan when they turn into apes. And he's just absolutely atrocious, and he's just beating the shit out of Goku. Goku actually has the realization that he killed his own grandfather, which we also talked about on the episode, in the episode with my grandfather. Luckily, I didn't accidentally kill him on that one. I'm surprised he wasn't so bored and died, though. But all Goku can really do here is run away from Vegeta, and he, you know, is trying to evade a couple times, and then he just blinds Vegeta with the Taioken, the Fist of the Sun, the solar flare, as it's called in the English dub. And he runs away, and he starts gathering energy for the Genki Dama, the Spirit Bomb. And by the time the energy is gathered, Vegeta sees Goku, though, and he fires a giant mouth beam at him. And it really kind of fucks Goku up here. Remember, he's already been pushed much past his limits. But we know that Kuririn and Gohan are on their way back, so maybe that they can help. Vegeta is crushing Goku over and over. He's stepping on him. He's poking him just with one finger, his giant finger. And he's squeezing him in the palm of his hands, and Goku's screaming his ass off. And Kuririn and Gohan arrive and talk to Yajirobe, and they say, hey, we gotta cut off this guy's tail. Let's just cut off his tail, any of us. So Gohan tries distracting Vegeta, and Krillin is going to use the Destructo Disc, the Kienzan, to cut off his tail. So he throws it, but Vegeta jumps over it. So Krillin misses, and Yajirobe comes in. We get a lot of reaction shots. Yajirobe comes in, cuts off his tail. So Vegeta turns back into a human. He's going to start turning back into a human. And Yajirobe just runs away and hides. He did his mission, but he's embarrassed. Let me see my notes. They throw the key attack. Misses the key attack. Someone runs away, hides. Yeah, so, this is exactly what I thought. This is exactly like when Jim has the snowball in the lacrosse stick, and, Toby's trying to talk to him, but he's ignoring Toby, but I was not ignoring Toby. Toby's saying something fascinating. Apparently, there's a female stenographer at the courthouse that looks exactly like Jim. But Jim is like, I can't really talk to you right now. He fucking takes the shot, and Dwight misses, breaks the conference room window, big mood killer. And then Jim is the one embarrassingly trying to hide his face, but he's just sitting there at his desk. Maybe he should have gone to the bathroom at least or something, or, met up with Yajirobe, run away or something like that. Yajirobe's got cards. Cars. He's got cards. So skipping ahead a bit, Jim is waving the white flag to surrender. He's finally had enough. He had a little present open up and thought it was from Pam. It was a catapult, a snowball right in the face. Dwight has really bested him here. And Dwight does not accept the surrender, though. He says unless he hits Pam in the face with a snowball while he watches. And Jim calls him a psychopath. Not directly related, but this kind of reminded me of when Raditz told Kakarot to kill 100 Earthlings and pile them up at the Turtle Hermit's house. And Goku's like, hey, you're a psychopath. I'm not going to hit Pam. Raditz. Goku has his own white flag that he's waving as well. The Genki Dama. While Gohan is in the Berserker Rage holding off Vegeta, Goku is giving Krillin the Spirit Bomb. He's telling him, hey, you just gotta fucking get your shit together, focus on his evil energy, throw it at him, it's gonna hit him, okay? You just gotta focus on him. So, Vegeta is just unloading like an entire cooler of snowballs onto Gohan. Krillin finally launches the Spirit Bomb, but Vegeta jumps over it. He's good at jumping over things coming from behind him. You guys should have known this already. Gohan overcomes the greatest snowball of all, fear, and he bounces back the Spirit Bomb because it only will attack the evil key in somebody's heart. That's what I'm talking about. That's the goodness of Dragon Ball, baby. He can ride the Nimbus Cloud, baby. It connects. We get this awesome artwork of Vegeta getting destroyed. The Spirit Bomb looks awesome. This is the first time we see it. I have talked about Tullus in the first episode of the Office Ball Z from the movie. I mentioned how that was basically just a retelling of Vegeta getting hit. They copied the same exact thing of like this really stretched out, scratchy, electrified Vegeta getting hit by this thing. Really awesome artwork there. And this time he gets blasted up and then he just lands right back on the ground. And he's like, he should be absolutely fucked. He looks absolutely fucked. You had too big of a mud pie. You used too small a slice. Now Vegeta's absolutely fucked, you know? And he causes this huge explosion. He's still willing to fight, and he just fucking freaks out, causes this huge explosion. But he's surrounded by multiple people now. And the giant apes aren't even done yet. So, Yajirobe is even still fighting. They're all still trying to hold him off. Yajirobe gets a nice slice in on his back, and then Gohan, his tail grows back, because we've seen in the past, like with Goku as a kid, in times of stress, it would seem that his tail would grow back. Kind of just an ass pull from Toriyama, but his tail grows back. And like I said before, unfortunately, the giant apes aren't done yet. Gohan looks at the fake moon. He becomes the Ozaru, the great ape. I'm boring myself just talking about it. No, it's fine, you know, with the way you read Dragon Ball, it's like every chapter in the middle of these climactic parts is gonna be a twist and a turn, you know what I mean? So, I think it's one too many great apes for the same fight, but this is the last time we'll see them, so maybe Toriyama knew that and was like, hey, let's just give it a big send-off, you know? He can't even really do anything. Like I said, him and Goku as a kid are nothing compared to Vegeta in the Great Ape form. So Vegeta pretty much just cuts off his tail really quickly. I guess maybe he learned it from Krillin while Krillin was doing it behind him. He learned the Destructo Disc and was able to cut off his tail. Or maybe it's just a different key disc, maybe the one Frieza stole from Krillin. So even though his tail gets cut off before he transforms back into a kid, the Great Ape Gohan falls right on top of Vegeta and crushes him. And that's pretty much Vegeta's final the final blow that he can take. And after that, he's ready to give up and retreat. So he calls his space pod. Looks like a giant snowball. And the space pod comes to him, and he's going to try to leave the planet and everything. Try to get the fuck off the face of the earth. Just like Jim wants to. Because he's had enough of the abuse. But even after the office is closed, he just cannot get out of the doors. You know, Pam is like, are you ready to go yet? You know, this is season 7. Pam's dressed up over there like a Christmas present, saying, hey, are you ready to go? You ready to go? I'm dressed up like a Christmas present for you. Maybe that's just what I was getting out of it. But, you know, he's afraid to leave the office, so they walk out slowly, and when they get out there, it's just, like, the parking lot is filled with giant apes, or giant snowmen. And they slowly go through it, and then they run for it, and Jim's like, yeah, just get in the car. Jim starts swinging and stabbing through their chests and bonking their heads off and everything, much like Yajirobe was swinging away his samurai sword. Jim is over here swinging away his umbrella. So, Merry Christmas, guys. And so he fights and fights and fights to no end. And, you know, Dwight's not even in these things. We see Dwight watching up from the rooftops. And he gives one of the great Dwight talking heads. In the end, the greatest snowball isn't a snowball at all. It's a spirit bomb. Merry Christmas.